Hi, so I've just finished a full day of lessons. Very good, enjoyed every single one of them. Got some great results. A little thing that happened during one lesson has made me think of a little tip that might help. A lesson I did with Richard Lomas, our past captain. We can have a look at some of the videos from Richard's lesson and some of the numbers on Flight Scope. Okay, so these were the first few shots that Richard hit in the lesson. Said he'd not been having the best of times on the course, couldn't really control the ball flight, and it became a bit apparent during the first few shots. So first shot, as you can see, had quite a bit of an overdraw, finished 12 yards left of target, but the numbers on the right-hand side of the key that I was looking at, so his club path 9.4 degrees to the right, that is quite exaggerated, swinging in to out, the club swinging out to the right of the target by 9.4 degrees. To give a bit of a baseline to this, most tour pros that use this machine would be trying to keep their numbers within 2. So 2 degrees right path would be as much as they'd be looking for. So 9 degrees right path is quite severe. But then the thing that causes the shape, the bend to the left, is the FTP number, the second up on the right hand side, is 12 left. So you've got the club head is swinging out to the right by 9 degrees or 9.4 degrees, and the club face is pointing 12 degrees to the left of that path. Now that's going to make the ball bend quite severely, and it's going to be very difficult to control. Shot number 2, pretty much the opposite. So we've had a 14 degree left shot first, and then a 20 yard right, second shot. So that's 34 yards difference in 2 shots, which is extremely difficult to control. But you notice the club path number stays pretty much the same, 8 degrees right, just at this time the face to path number has stayed or is considerably less than the previous, which is why it's not had that hook shape to it. But again, massive differences there in where they've finished. Next shot, a little bit worse. This time the club path wasn't as bad, but the club face is really twisted. It's now pointing 10 degrees to the right, face to path, and the ball's finished 25 yards right. So it was very difficult. He kept trying to manipulate the club face because he'd seen one hook left, one not then hook stayed out to the right. So then he tried manipulating the face. The path improved a little bit, but the face was difficult for him to control. Okay, so what you can see from Richard's video and swing numbers is that he had quite an exaggerated in to out path. His club was swinging about 8 degrees to the right. Now, Richard labelled it as he was struggling to control the club face. Well, if you're swinging the club from 8 degrees in to out, you've got to have really manipulated the club face to the left to try to get the ball to bend back towards the target. You might do that on one occasion, feel like it's worked, the next one not do it quite as much, and he's pushed the ball out to the right of the target again. So there's a real mixture of shots that can come from a path that's in to out. So how we fixed it was, I noticed on video, and when compared to VJ Singh was the model that we used, was that Richard's elbow was coming in quite a bit as he took the club away. And what that did is it continued in the backswing, and his top of his backswing was very flat. His left arm was below his shoulders, and from there, as he rotated his body through, the club came back into the ball from a flat position, which was that in to out swing path. And obviously then he's got to try to whip his hands to get the ball through. So what we did a little exercise, which everybody can try. If you struggle with a hook or a push to the right, is just to feel like you're hanging your arm straight down without a club, straight down. Put your left hand underneath your right tricep. As you rotate back to try and make a normal backswing, is push upwards with your left hand so you can try to get your right upper arm parallel to the ground. So instead of coming round here and everything being too flat and too low, feeling as you take the club back, you're going to lift up, right arm parallel to the ground, you're going to get a lot more height, and from there it's just a turn through onto the ball, and the path will be much more neutral, so it's a good thing to practice. Okay, so this was Richard's shots after we started thinking about his hands trying to get a little bit higher at the top of the backswing. So the first shot, as you can see, I'll bring the distance numbers up here. The first shot you can see, so the club path a bit out to the right, 5.7 to the right, but better than 8 and 9 degrees. So we were starting to see a little bit of improvement already. Club path again was a little bit to the left, but actually that's 5.9 degrees left of the path. So the club face is pretty much pointing at the target at that point. It's just that the path was out to the right. He started striking it a lot better as well. There was 1 or 2 miss-hits on the previous shots, but that was a nice solid strike, and it only finished 4 yards left. So a pretty functional shot. Shot 2, again, look at now the club path. Club path started to get to pretty much straight, so within those 2-degree numbers that tour pros are looking for. Club face ever so slightly to the right, so generally it's a bit of a sweeping generalisation here, but the more the path moves to the left or even straight towards the target, the easier it is to control the club face and keep the club face more open. The more the the path goes in to out on a rightward path, then the easier it is for the club head to flick over and create that hook shape. So again, very functional shot, only finished 9 yards right to target. Can't find any green. Next shot, again, so 8 yards right to target. So we started to notice his dispersion was coming down really well. He was getting, rather than an 18-yard left shot and a 15-yard right shot, these were all starting to be where they would find any green. But again, this one, the path came a little bit more out to the right, not quite as much as what it was before, but still out to the right. Club path, again, a little bit to the left, which helped to create that little bit of a draw shape. Now 1.5 degrees to the right, excellent club path, good distance. The distance started to really increase with these shots because he was getting a squarer hit. And then the last one, club path, only 2.3 degrees to the right, again with the club path, the face to path, the bottom number, again 1.3 degrees left. So again, much more functional. But if I show you here the grouping of these shots, so the blue was his 7-iron, so quite a wide dispersion, and that's the difficult thing about trying to plot your way around a golf course, is he didn't know whether it was going left or it was going right. And then after we worked on it, I've labelled it with the 7 higher hands in the orange shape, a lot tighter dispersion and a lot easier to control, and he's now got more of an awareness of where his club face is because his swing path is a lot more neutral. So when you go to the driving range, maybe film yourself from straight behind like I did during Richard's lesson. And for a right-handed golfer, what you're looking for is when the shaft is parallel to the ground, we're looking to see where the club head is in relation to your hands. So if the club head is to the left of your hands, when the shaft is parallel to the ground, then we know that you're going to create an in to out swing path. So if you're hitting blocks to the right or hooks to the left, that is a good place to start with fixing your swing. If the club is to the right of your hands as you're looking on the video, then we know you're creating a very much out to in path, which is very common amongst slicers of the golf ball. But if you're just getting a straight pull, then there's a good chance it's down to your swing path and you can work on that position to improve your pull. So key to come to have a lesson, let us have a look at it, film your swing and see what you want to improve, and then we can go from there.